Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In this tutorial we're going to go back and look at the custom commands and see what it would take to add multiple forms by using a tab control and creating the individual forms that will be added to that tab control. So let's see what it will take to get this added. First I'm going to undo the task that the current custom command does. So we're going to get rid of all the count tracks information and all the automatic stuff, and then we'll start adding in the new forms. So the first thing I want to do is on the on open and on close, I want to get rid of where we are checking to see if the track count has changed. So we'll get rid of these two things here. Then let's go over to the main form and just get rid of everything that is there. So now we have a blank form. If we go into the code for the main form, let's go ahead and get rid of all this extra code. So we no longer need the count tracks routine. We don't need the add track routine. We don't need either of those, and we don't need either of those. So this will get us back to a blank form. Now let's come over to the main form and we'll add a tab control, and this will be where we are going to add all of the new forms that we're going to add. So let's just drop this on here. We'll pull it out to be pretty much full size, and then let's make sure that we have no tabs on it. So we have removed all of the built-in tabs. Now we can create some new user controls that we will add to this tab. So let's come over here and right click on our CC test, and we will choose add, and we want a user control. And let's give this one a name of my tab 1. This will be our new tab, and we can just resize this and we can add whatever we want to on it. So if we needed some buttons on it, we can add our buttons. If we needed a checkbox on it, we can add our checkbox, and whatever else we need to be added to that tab. Now let's do the same thing over here. Right click CC test 1 and choose add user control again, and let's just call this one my tab 2. Once again, we can resize it. We can add a button on it. Here's a checkbox. Let's put a combo box on here just so that it's different than the other one. And let's just throw a label on here too. So now, obviously, these two tabs don't do anything. We've just created two tabs that look different so we can tell that we're looking at the different tabs. But we can go in and easily modify what each tab looks like and how it performs, the same as we would any other form. Now let's see what it will take to get them onto this new tab. So we want to get them added to this tab here. So let's go in and look at our code. I'm actually going to add a new routine in here called add tab that will add all of the tabs for us. Then all I have to do is call this add tab with each of the tabs that I want to add. So we will need to call the add tab routine twice. Here's the first time I'm calling it, and we call it using the tab control 1, which I did not rename that, so it's just called tab control 1. Then we need to give a name that will show up in the tab, and then we create a new, and we are in namespace CC test, so it'll be a new CC test dot my tab 1, which is what we named the file and the form. Then we're going to do the same thing for the second tab. We're also going to add it to tab control 1, and then we're going to give it a unique name just so that we can see that it's different, and then we're adding cctest.mytab2. Let's see how these tabs will actually get added. So we're calling add tab, and we send it the tab control, we send it the name we want for the new tab, and we're sending it the form that is going to be added to that tab. So what we do in the add tab routine, it receives those three pieces of information. Then we create a new tab page using the name that we sent it from up here. So we create a new tab page with that name. Then in the tab control, we're adding that new page to the tab pages. Next, I've set auto scroll equal to true. Then we're getting the user control, which is the form that we sent to it. We're making sure that that form is visible. And then we add that control to that new tab that we just created, the new page. So let's compile this and see what happens. So we go to View, Extensions, My Test Custom Command, and here is our new custom command. Notice we have two tabs. One of them is called New Form 1. The second tab has Unique Name, and you can see that the unique name has the button, checkbox, label, and drop-down box that we added. If we go to New Form 1, you will see that it has the checkbox, and the button was way over here, so we would have to add some code to resize this tab as this window got resized so that we could see the actual button that was added over there. And you can see we actually have scroll bars. We could add a scroll bar to the bottom of the tab as well. And that is how you can easily add multiple tabs into a single form, and each of these tabs you can design uniquely, individually, as a form, as you would design any other form. So since our buttons over here were kind of off the screen, if we move them back over here, then we would have noticed that they would have been inside the screen. So you have to kind of watch how big you're designing things, and or design the code so that it will scroll automatically so that it can be scrolled over to see those buttons, or the tab is resized as the custom command window is resized. So you can see here we have our scroll left and right buttons, and we have our scroll up and down buttons, which will change depending on the size of the form that's underneath it. So as you can see, adding multiple forms really isn't all that difficult, and the good thing is that you can use the WYSIWYG tools in order to design those forms and add or remove whatever pieces you need on those forms, and you can visually see what it's going to look like ahead of time. Then once you get all the forms designed, adding them to multiple tabs is a fairly easy process as well. So it's just a matter of adding the new user control forms over onto the tab pages that you can create manually on the fly in your code so that you don't have to create everything ahead of time. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.